Mr. Chair, the contract has been approved.
Welcome to Episode 9 of the Rebel Report, where this show is set to be divine. Marvin Menzies approved as the new Runnin Rebel head coach in a stronger vote than his predecessor. We walk you through his hiring day before Coach joins us in studio for this week's timeout. Both UNLV Golf programs are swinging a hot stick. The men and the women are Mountain West Conference champions after 2 great tournament runs. Plus, we visit the team that prepares every student athlete for game day. Get geared up, the Rebel Report begins right now.
Welcome home, Marvin Menzies. The new head coach's contract was finally made official by the Board of Regents last Friday, meaning the Runnin Rebels can start thinking about next season. Welcome to Episode 9 of the Rebel Report. I'm Summer Crawley.
And I'm Victoria Bass. In a 12-1 vote, the Board of Regents approved Menzies' new contract as head coach. We turn it over now to Leonardo Schauer, who was there at the Regents meeting.
Well, Victoria, the drama finally came to an end with the official hiring of Marvin Menzies. Following a bizarre couple of weeks in the Runnin Rebels program, UNLV fans were delighted to hear the excitement of Menzies after landing what he called his dream job. Here's how it all came to be.
Mr. Chair, the contract has been approved.
Runnin Rebel fans can finally sleep well at night. They can put their faith in Marvin Menzies, who will lead the team for the coming years. In a near-unanimous vote from the Board of Regents, the only point of contention was the economics of the contract. Chairman of the board, Rick Trachok, was the lone dissenting voter.
While I support this coach wholeheartedly, I think this is a great hire for the program here at the university. I think my position's always been very clear. I went as far as I could with the contract that we offered to Coach Musselman, and I'm not going to bore anybody with the reason, again, for my position, but I will not be able to support the contract.
Despite a less lucrative contract than that of Chris Beard's, Trachok seldom supports such contracts, given their high value.
With respect to compensation, this is a contract that Coach Menzies and his representatives were comfortable with. In particular, Coach was happy to have a contract that rewards him for successes in the postseason and for his participation in the marketing and growth of Runnin Rebel basketball. I anticipate after a couple of great years with Coach Menzies, we'll be back in front of you with a new contract.
It's indeed my pleasure to introduce for the first time the head coach of the Runnin Rebels, Marvin Menzies. Coach.
With the board's approval, Menzies became the first African-American head coach in Runnin Rebels history, a feat that did not go unnoticed. Now that the politics are out of the way, Coach Menzies is eager to finally get to work and start building his new team.
You know, I wasn't the first choice, but I guarantee you I was the coach that wanted this job the most out of that candidate pool. I also know that if you gave me a choice of any university in the United States to coach, my first choice would have been UNLV. I'm sitting in the seat I wanted to sit in for a long, long time. It's just in a different office now than the last time I was here. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge in the early stages, but you know, I spoke to that philosophically about embracing challenges. So I think we're good to go. We just got to get to work. I got to just finish up with you guys so I can go make some calls.
And now with the recruiting season well underway, Menzies has his work cut out for him in the coming months as he tries to rebuild his new team. Lucky for Rebels fans, our new head coach has quite a reputation as one of the nation's top recruiters. Victoria?
Marvin Menzies' new coaching staff is already starting to take shape. The hiring of former Providence Associate Head Coach Andre LaFleur was announced shortly after the Board of Regents meeting. Again, Coach will join us in studio in just a bit for this week's Rebel Report Timeout.
While we have to wait until the fall for hoops to begin again, UNLV Golf has just entered tournament play, and both the Rebels, men and women, are upping their game at the right time. Last week, a banner week for the university, beginning with the ladies. UNLV ranked 17th in the nation, entering the Mountain West Conference tournament in Rancho Mirage, California, and had plans to celebrate when it was over. The Rebels beat San Diego State by 9 strokes to win the conference tourney and the team's first Mountain West title since 2013. Junior Alexander Cowie took home the individual championship title, and Coach Amy Bushherzer was named Mountain West Coach of the Year. Later in the week, the men were playing in Tucson, the conference tournament, trailing by 2 strokes, entering the final round. The Rebels fired a 9-under in the last round to beat New Mexico by their 3 strokes, winning the men's first tournament title since 2002. The victories, both the men and women, now qualify for the NCAA tournament and bring some prestige to the university.
After losing by 1 stroke last year, kind of hurt a bit, and to come back this year strong and we're all playing well, it really means a lot to us.
A long drought it means a lot because I've always really enjoyed coming to this place, and in the last few tournaments we've had a win, a second, and a win-win. So we've really got some momentum going as we go into postseason.
And we wanted to win so bad. We would always talk about what it's going to feel like when we jump in the pond, and then I would always joke around and be like, I'm going to jump in it twice, or because I won, or blah, blah. Like, we would joke around like that, but we were always thinking about it throughout the season.
The ladies will be the 5th seed entering the Stanford Regional, which begins Thursday, May 5th. It's the ladies' 14th straight appearance in the NCAA Regional.
Now we go under the radar for a check-in on the men's tennis team. After being on the road since March 31st, the squad came back this past weekend ready to face a tough San Diego State team. The Rebel Report's Luis Negrete with the recap.
The Rebels are back home after being on the road since March, ready to face a very competitive San Diego State team. UNLV men's tennis team hosted San Diego State Saturday afternoon, where the team recorded a 4-3 victory.
It was a good win, however, it was really close at the end.
During doubles, Jacob Amelon and Ruben Alberts took the only win for UNLV out of the 3 double matches.
Me and Ruben, we played a good doubles match as well. It was good, so overall it was a good performance, I think.
Moving into singles play, UNLV recorded 3 straight set wins and took a 3-1 lead before the Aztecs rallied back. The Rebels benefited from good performances by Richard Solberg and Ruben Alberts, while Jacob Amelon scored the winning point for UNLV.
That feels great, actually. That's a big win for us. San Diego State it's a really tough team, great team. So to beat them it's really something special.
It came down to Jacob at number 1, and he's just been a rock for us the whole year. So it was great to get the team win. It was close. To be honest, we didn't play very well in doubles, but they totally outplayed us in doubles. But for the guys to come back and win against a very talented, San Diego State team, it was good feeling.
UNLV hopes to keep their streak going as they head into this weekend's Mountain West Championship. For the Rebel Report, I'm Luis Negrete.
Great win for the team. We'll be cheering them on this weekend as they head into the Mountain West Tournament, which begins Friday on campus.
Athletes have game uniforms, travel gear, practice gear, weight room gear, uniform gear, protective gear, and footwear. The equipment team on campus is responsible for all that gear for 400 athletes at UNLV. Nakaya Berry went inside the Lead Athletic Complex to find out how they managed it all.
I'm going to show you behind the scenes of what goes into the setup of the games at UNLV, giving you access to what many don't see, the equipment room. Follow me.
Currently, we're working on a new helmet for next year. This is the sample we have right now. And these stickers, literally, I have students, and every week we pull the stickers off and replace them on every helmet. So my students literally take the helmet apart and put it back together every single week. Yeah.
Laundry is a large part of the equipment team's duties. And when I say large, that's laundry for over 400 people with industrial washers and dryers.
Obviously, our dryers are a little bit bigger than the ones you might have at your house, so we can do a lot more laundry at one time.
Making sure uniforms are spotless.
Obviously, these are pretty good now, but these have already been washed 3 times today.
I have some kids that have a green alien in their pocket, and that's their good luck charm. And if they leave it in their pants and we're watching it at night, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, and they're calling like, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? I'm like, I got it. It didn't get washed.
The athletes don't have to purchase any of their equipment or clothing. Everything is supplied by the university.
They're spoiled.
Some people like capri tights, some like long tights, some like elbow pads, some like different kind of socks, some like elite socks, some like regular socks. We got to know all that.
Handling baseball equipment can be tricky because it's a very superstitious sport.
Some guys will wear the same socks. If they're on a hitting streak, they won't change their socks or anything. Everything will stay the same. They won't wash them either. So they'll just be dirty socks, and they hang them up in their locker, and they'll wear them every game.
And for basketball, the equipment team keeps up with the players' many shoe options.
For instance, we got Barry Cheney over here. He's number 5. He only wears basically 2 shoes. He doesn't have that many. Whereas we have a player totally opposite, like McCaw, who has he probably has 15 pairs of shoes.
Some guys actually use a ruler to measure where their shoes go in their locker. And it's pretty crazy. And I had one guy, he had to wear a new pair of socks for every game last year.
These guys are really big on, what they wear and how they look.
Because you throw their routine off, then you're in a bad place.
I mean, you just got to make sure that everything's good and they have everything.
It's difficult sometimes, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun.
It kind of keeps me young because I'm around all these young guys every day, and you get to see them grow up and develop into better players and better people in life.
Next time you're cheering the Rebels on, you'll know that it took a team behind the scenes to prepare for the game. Reporting for the Rebel Report, I'm Nakaya Berry.
Thanks, Nikaya. Rocky Rutledge has been managing the equipment for UNLV student athletes for 22 years now.
The Las Vegas 51s took the time to come to campus for the last party in the PITA of the spring semester. The Rebel Report's Cassie Soto tells us all about the promotions that the team was here to offer.
The Las Vegas 51s recently took a break from Cashman Field and paid a visit to UNLV. In collaboration with UNLV CSUN, the 51s came to campus to encourage community support from college students, and the 51s know a thing or two about what catches college students' attentions.
Budweiser Dollar Beer Nights is probably our most popular item with our college students, but we're definitely trying to promote Mondays as well.
Along with Thursday Dollar Beer Nights, the 51s were also promoting Monday Dollar Menu Night, where fans can enjoy ballpark favorites such as hot dogs, popcorn, and Cracker Jacks, all for $1. The team also gave out about 100 tickets to a 51s game. Encouraging local support, especially within the college community, is something the 51s take pride in doing.
The 51s, it's a brand that when you live in a tourist city, you definitely have to make your brand more aware, and with, X amount of students coming in and out of UNLV every day and being able to promote what we have, not so far from, it's straight down Maryland Parkway, so it's not very far. So it's a different kind of entertainment. That's not the Las Vegas Strip. Having something here at home and, with the Mets being in the World Series last year, it's definitely a hot commodity and something that's definitely worth being a part of.
We hope to see more events like this in the future and wish the 51s luck as they continue on in the season. For the Rebel Report, I'm Cassie Soto.
The Las Vegas 51s will continue their season this weekend with the 4-game series against the Tacoma Rainiers. The tickets the team was giving out on campus are good for admission at any home game for the rest of the year.
The new T-Mobile Arena has had the first sporting event of its career. Many in the Valley wonder it would be boxing, UFC. Turns out it would be a basketball game. However, this is not ordinary basketball. Here's Rebel reporter Justin Guzman with the info.
Welcome to the new T-Mobile Arena for its very first sporting event, Harlem Globetrotter basketball. And the new arena is not the only draw for Vegas locals. It also happens to be a homecoming for a Vegas native who happens to be a Globetrotter.
The new T-Mobile Arena is a beautiful addition to the Las Vegas Strip. With state-of-the-art electronics, plush VIP seating, and a great view of the action from anywhere, sports fans have been waiting to pack the house. And they finally got that opportunity when the world-renowned Harlem Globetrotters came to town. Not only was the basketball game the first sporting event in the new arena, Las Vegas native and Globetrotter Scooter Christensen christened the new building with some amazing trick shots, a preview of what fans could expect from their hometown hero.
It feels good to be back home playing in front of my family and my friends, and I just hope that everyone enjoys it, not only myself but the whole team, because not only one person, it's never one person that makes the team. It's the collective group that makes the team, because each one of us does something special, and they're going to see that tonight. And it's a special moment tonight, and I hope everyone has a good time. And for us to be the first sporting event here at the T-Mobile Arena, it says a lot. And for me, being born and raised in Vegas, says a lot too. It's a special moment for me.
The Harlem Globetrotters are celebrating 90 years of basketball and have toured the world delighting fans of all ages with basketball games that are not only fun and exciting, but also help to break cultural and social barriers within the community.
I think it's awesome because it opens up a lot more, to see in Vegas, because it's not boring anymore. You get to see more stuff. Plus, this is huge. It's awesome.
Next month, the basketball court will turn into a boxing ring for the next major sporting event here at the arena. For Canelo versus Khan, May 7th, where 20,000 people will attempt to jam into the new arena. For the Rebel Report, I'm Justin Guzman.
What a great way to open up the arena. Something great for the kids and family. Another basketball event coming to the arena. The Runnin Rebels will face Duke for the first time since 1991 on December 10th.
NHRA race happened 3 weeks ago here in Las Vegas. Our reporter Natalia Lanzalotti was there to show us that women are taking their spots in the sports dominated by men.
From the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, behind me is the car of Alexis DeJoria. She is competing for the Mellow Yellow Drag Racing Series this year. Take a look. Funny car racer Alexis DeJoria became the 9th woman in NHRA history to compete in 100 races at the season opening at Pomona. But she's not the only woman to be included in the exclusive racing club of female drivers. The other females to accomplish this are shown in the list. We're seeing more and more females getting involved in this sport dominated by males, but these drivers are drawing the line of equality.
I've always been impressed with the females in drag racing, all the way from Shirley Muldowney, Angel Savoyan motorcycles, and now Alexis. I think it's amazing to see them in there competing with the guys. They do a fabulous job.
But here in Las Vegas, DeJoria piloted her Tequila Patron Toyota Camry, crossing the stripe in 3.968 at 315.49 miles per hour, and got her second win at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where she defeated Dale Warsham.
Over the last few years since seeing her come up the ranks, I think she's done amazing. Her performance was just absolutely excellent today.
DeJoria also won in 2014, and it is her 4th victory. Alexis DeJoria, one of the racers putting women on the map. Reporting for the Rebel Report, I'm Natalia Lancelotti.
Alexis DeJoria got her 2nd out of 4 victories here in our city. Congrats to all the women that have what it takes to compete in these sports. Now let's send it over to our interview set for this week's Rebel Timeout.
Rebel Report Timeout.
All right, ladies, thanks a lot. It's my privilege, it's my honor, it's really our honor to have the new head coach of the Runnin Rebels in here for our timeout this week. It's Marvin Menzies. Coach, I know you really haven't had time to settle in and get a breather, but we appreciate you taking time out.
No, my pleasure. You know, it's that time of year where we got to grind to get some guys, but I do need to stop and eat, and you're in my lunchtime, just so you know.
That's
so
it.
Okay.
We'll catch you all the way back to the office, essentially. Want to just backtrack a little bit, not too far. Your press conference, and obviously you've made it known, this is your dream job. And I know you were an assistant here a while back. It was for 1 season. So I'd like you to just expand. Why is UNLV your dream job here?
Well, you know, anytime you have a chance to grow up watching a program from afar, sometimes close when I worked here, but even when I was younger, you know, I went to UCLA and worked at USC. But we had family that lived in Las Vegas, so we used to visit. So it was kind of, you know, on vacation mode, and you see the lights in the Strip and the whole 9 yards, and then all of the players that come through and the success that they had. I was, man, that'd be a pretty cool job one day to have, you know, and it just kind of was in the deep recesses of my mind. And next thing you know, as the years trickled by, it started to become a reality that I would potentially, you know, be a candidate. And then here we are. We're sitting here, and it's just kind of like it's a little surreal still to this day.
Yeah, and just a little bit more backtracking. Take us through your emotion as this process played out. And I won't mention the other coach's name, but obviously, you know, there was drama here, and you wanted the job. He got the job. Now you have the job. As everything was unfolding, what kind of a roller coaster were you in?
Emotion, take you through the emotion. Well, is it okay to cry on an episode?
We haven't had it before, but you can do it, yeah.
No, it's been, it was a lot of ups and downs, obviously, but that's the business, too. And I've interviewed at several jobs throughout my career, so I wasn't always the first choice on several jobs, but I think that the one that offers you the job is the greatest job in the world because it's yours, and it's mine now. And so I'm excited to implement, you know, my program, my strategy, and just kind of take the experience, the 9 years of head coach experience, and the several years before that to apply it to a place that, you know, that I love, that I've already am comfortable with and have worked here. So there's just a lot of pieces to it, you know. And actually going backwards, as you asked that, there's nothing to do with that. I have no control over that. All I can control is getting guys now and coaching them up and implementing, a great connection between the community and the school and the academics to the athletics. And I have all these things in my mind that I'm working on every day to just get us back into a place where we've got great energy back into the program and just kind of breathe new life into it. That's kind of what I'm working on. Going forward is more what my concern is than what has happened behind us.
And it's a perfect lead into my next question. At this point, you mentioned so many things that you've got to get done. What's keeping you awake at night? Or are you sleeping like a baby?
Yeah, I was going to say. Really? Absolutely. The plan is to really kind of work till my body physically just gets exhausted, and then I rest a few hours. This is the truth. Now, I'm telling you, I'm sleeping 3.5 hours a night. But it's fantastic, it's energy when you wake up. I just need to get my body rested enough where I stay healthy, and then I pound out, because you got to look at it this from my perspective. You got East Coast, you got international, you got all kinds of people that are up, when you're awake, that you can contact and have relations, in recruiting and so forth with. So that's really been the focus, is the first and foremost is finishing up my staff and getting the players and completing a roster. Those are the two big things. And you can't do that sleeping.
And you're reading my mind. Talk about the coaching staff. That was my next question. I know you have Andre LaFleur on staff, which is a big get for us, but how are we with filling the rest of the spots on the staff?
Well, I'm kind of in decision-making process with some other guys. Andre's family, I've known him since he was, 8, 9 years old. I went to school with his sisters, and a lot of people don't know the history that we have together, but I've been kind of a big brother and to him for quite some time, and have watched his whole journey and helped kind of mentor him through some tough times as well. But a great get, as you mentioned. I mean, just a fantastic family man with great values, who's won at the highest level, who has instant credibility, upon the hire. The other couple guys that we're visiting right now, I'm probably going to make a decision here in the next day or two. I got to process who fits. Every time you hire somebody, they got to fit the next guy, and then those two guys got to fit the third guy. And so that's a bit of a puzzle that I'm putting together right now as well. So, I won't go into detail of who those guys are, but I'm really pleased with the guys that I'm looking at right now.
And now tell us about your first signee, Chris Clyburn. And we were chatting a little bit before we started here. The kid doesn't miss a shot, apparently. 59% from the floor. We could use that.
That's a good thing, right? All right. Well, I was really surprised he was still available this late in the process. But everybody manages their team and their recruitment a little bit differently. Some guys kind of block everything so they can focus on the season. And then as that unfolds and then it goes into recruiting period, and Billy Gillespie has obviously done a fantastic job of coaching him up. And so when we got the job, he still wasn't through that decision-making process. So I was the really attractive school that came in late into the process, and I shouldn't say I, but UNLV was. And thank God everything went in our favor, and Chris is fully signed and on board and excited to get here.
Yeah, it sounds like a great get for the university. You have a few other spots to fill, though.
Yeah, one or two. Yeah.
Does this kind of start a snowball effect? Or are we going to see a lot more in the coming couple weeks, or how do you feel this process is going to play out to fill the roster?
Well, you don't want to move so fast that you don't get high quality guys in terms of character. Obviously, you got to be able to play the game. That's a given. But again, like I referenced about the staff, when you get one piece, well, then it kind of figures out how the next piece fits in. And upon every signature on every letter of intent, you've got to now kind of navigate through the landscape to figure out what's the next piece of that puzzle. So it will pick up here in the next couple of weeks. We've got some guys that are coming in on visits, and we've got some guys we're really excited about that we feel if we can lock up a couple of those guys that could even bring in another guy or two. And then we may hold off a little bit as it slows down, because some of the guys are going to make their decision a little bit later because they're still in school and so on and so forth. So it's a tangled web we weave, my friend, but we'll get there.
Yeah, and I guess you could say your first get was really Dwayne Morgan, making sure he stayed at the program.
No doubt about it. Yeah. No doubt about it. It was re-recruitment at its highest level. Those are actually some of the tougher guys to re-recruit because of the circumstances involved. It just made it, okay, well, give me a chance as well. And it was like, okay, kind of already been there, done that. So let me go do this first and make these, other options real to at least look at them and investigate some other situations. Rightfully so, and I totally understand if I was a parent of one of those young men that was in the program, or even guys that were recruited that had given, their commitment to be here, and then it was just a tough process for them to go through, but it was. It was necessary to get the right man for the job, which is me. So it is what it is. What are you going to do?
And a lot of people like having you here, Coach. But here's the hard question: expectations for year one. You know this university. You know the fan base. Every school wants to win, but it seems like it's even more so here at UNLV. Expectations for year one, and obviously beyond.
I don't mean to sound pompous or conceited or whatever the adjective is I want to slip in here, but I have probably higher expectations of myself than anybody could ever impose on me. So I'm not really, I'm not a social media guy in terms of reading it. I'm not a big newspaper guy in terms of, processing that information, So it's kind of like I'm working. I don't have time to read the papers. That's not where my head's at, and I don't even let my family read that stuff. So we're going to grind. We're going to be a part of this family here. We're going to do the right things. We're going to win the right way, and that just is what it is. I can't tell you that the expectations. Obviously, you want that. Don't you want expectations? I mean, if you don't have them, then obviously you're probably not doing things the right way. So they're built in here because of the dynamics of the community and the passionate fans that make the Thomas and Mack such a great place to play. So you want them, but you can't let them affect how you do business. You've got to go about things your way, the right way, and the rest will kind of fall into place.
And you mentioned it in your last answer and last question here, but I'm impressed with the social media skills you got at Marvin Menzies on Twitter. I know, and somebody was on Facebook Live with the press conference too, the Board of Regents meeting, which was a lot shorter this time, obviously, much to our, happiness.
Right. Well, let's just say I'm an old school guy who's trying to, connect to the new school there. But I have a lot of help.
Yeah.
I got a lot of help with that. I can't lie. That's a lot of friends there saying, okay, this is how you log in.
Yeah.
But that part I got. But
the students around me, Snapchat's the new thing.
Takes a family, and we've got great support, with in the department that's helping us, navigate some of the landscapes there in terms of how to get out the information that we need to get out and so on and so forth. Andy Grossman does a great job. Our SID is as far as helping me hit the ground and transition into this market and how to do that and so forth. So just a great team over there. A lot of support and a lot of great folks over there helping this transition.
Coach, well, best of luck to you. Obviously, we're pulling for you, and we certainly expect some great things. And we're hearing everything, at least out until this point. You've done a great job maintaining the program.
Got to win some games.
Yeah,
got to win some games. We're gonna play fast and win some games. So that's I think going to make everybody very happy.
Coach, we'd love to have you back. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, John.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Marvin Menzies, everybody, and we're going to send it back to the desk now. I believe it's time for our outstanding Rebel of the Week, ladies.
April 6th was the last time a member on the baseball team earned the honors of being named Outstanding Rebel of the Week. This week, it's their turn again.
This past week's Rebel of the Week is UNLV baseball pitcher DJ Myers. On top of being named Rebel of the Week, Myers also earned himself Mountain West Pitcher of the Week for his Friday's performance over Air Force. The junior went on to pitch 8 scoreless innings, where he also picked up a share of combined shutout in the win over the Falcons. Even more, Myers went ahead striking out 6 batters, which helped assist the Rebels secure that victory on Friday.
UNLV still on the road and will face the San Jose State Spartans April 29th in a 3-game series.
The semester is quickly coming to an end and stress levels are up. This week I took a look at how students, athletes, and faculty can de-stress with some yoga in this week's Show Me Your Skills.
Show me your skills.
Yoga is a form of exercise that helps to stretch and strengthen the body. UNLV PEX yoga instructor Nita Andrew reveals that yoga can do more than benefit you physically.
It's also a form of exercise for your mind. It helps us to create a little bit of flexibility. Sometimes we get a little stagnant in our thoughts, and so when we practice yoga, we focus on bringing the mind and the body into the same space so that we can help alleviate stress and help us to be better mentally and physically.
With that being said, Nita shows us some moves that are universal.
So the first part of what I did was half of a portion of the sun salutation, Surya Namaskar C. It includes lunges. So it starts out in our mountain pose, extends the spine up into extended Tadasana, works through a lunge, a plank, a chaturanga, a downward dog, and it's a sequence that's very commonly done in classes. It would be done twice, meaning one side and the next. And then I also added a triangle and a proud warrior because those are very common poses that are done from class to class. So they're ones that are important staples for students to get comfortable with because you go out of town, you run into a yoga class. If you know some of those staple poses, you'd be able to attend a class anywhere.
Thanks again, Nita, for teaching us all how to get a little more zen in our lives before finals approach.
As the spring semester is starting to dwindle to its final weeks, we all hope all you out there are enjoying the Rebel Report with our continuous coverage of UNLV athletics.
And you can't forget about all the local events around Las Vegas Valley too. As always, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Report _UNLV, as well as our social media, including our Twitter page, Rebel Report UNLV, where we tweet daily updates on all things UNLV. Well, we'll see you next week, guys.
Mr. Chair, the contract has been approved.